Hello? Hello? Good good evening. Hello. Hi guys. It's been a bit. I would like to apologize because I did not stream on Tuesday like I said I would. I think I ended up not streaming on Tuesday. I'm very sorry. But hello everyone. Hello, happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. I hope you guys can hear me well. I haven't like adjusted any of my settings, but I would like to make sure that at least, I'm a little heard. Cause I don't I lack the volume stuff to make this sound like way better than it should, but um I hope I sound alright and crisp. Hopefully. But hello everyone, happy Sunday. Um oh, my shadow books are still here. I forgot to take off my shadow books in the background. But hello, good evening everyone. Welcome back to the ASMR Sundays, I guess, because we've been pretty much doing this like every Sunday or so. Every Sunday or so. Yeah. So, you know, I guess this is gonna be a Sunday thing. The thing is, considering my stream schedule on Twitch, I feel like I should be doing more than just 2 days of a week. But, um, I think, I think, I think 2 days is still all I can handle right now. Though I mean, I do have some extra stream every so often, but usually most of the time I don't do more than 2 days. Like I struggle to do just two, Even just 2 days is like really really hard for me. Hopefully on Tuesday I actually do something. I don't know, but I mean, yeah. I don't know everyone. I don't know. Can anyone hear me? I was drawing for most of the time before I started stream. I was working on some stuff for artwork and whatnot. I hope everyone has had a good day so far. I almost fell asleep before I started stream too. I almost fell asleep because I ate dinner at like around 9:30, and then every time I eat, it always makes me really sleepy. Hello, Myra. Welcome in. Hello everyone. Mwah. Sorry, I bumped my mic a little bit. I'm like leaning close to it so it picks up my voice better. But I might have bumped into it a little bit. I'm sorry. The Juner, that's me. Hello Yuxi. Hello. Yeah. I think I was looking at the pages for the book today and I saw that we are only, I think, like 80 pages away from finishing the book. Because there's like, we ended off at 212, page 212, and then it has 295 pages overall. So we have, we could split it off into 2 days, so 2 Sundays, and 1 week away from IP. Yay! Yay! And then I'll be doing your art. soon. I got you, UXT. Hope you guys can hear me. I don't know. It's been a bit since I streamed on Twitch. Like, technically it's been like a full week since I streamed on Twitch, because, you know, the last time I streamed on Twitch was last Sunday, so... Hope you guys can hear me. I do... yeah, I didn't touch any of the settings, so I don't know. Hope you guys... Dude, I've been listening to a lot of ASMR on Twitch too, and scary, very scary. Very scary indeed. I think I'm very scared of people who can do ASMR so easily. Not that it's hard, but I was saying on my other stream recently that it's very hard for me. I still have too much shame that doing ASMR, like trigger ASMR, is very scary to me. Like, the idea of doing trigger ASMR is very scary, and like roleplay ASMR, like, I still have shame. And the last time I did roleplay was when I was in Tumblr. I did Tumblr roleplay, but it was like in writing, you know? It's not the same thing as like acting on the screen. So the whole thing of like roleplay ASMR scares me a little bit. I think it's more natural if you do something that you have actually had experience in, but I'm a little unemployed. I am a little unemployed, I would say, to do anything like too extreme, too like too I don't know. I'm too inexperienced. I do like reading ASMR though, but I was saying on Twitter that it's not really reading. It's not really ASMR, I don't think. Unless I read it in a way that's like really pleasing, I don't think it's really counts as ASMR. I think it's just like soft talking, if anything. Hello, Blue. Welcome in. Hello. Yeah, I was like saying on Twitter that I don't really consider it to be ASMR. I think it's just like soft talking in general. That's really it. That's why I feel like really weird like putting my category in the ASMR, and then I title my stream as like ASMR/soft talking. Readings, Blue. You're gonna get started soon. Don't worry. I think we're gonna at least like read 40 pages, and then we'll read the last half of the 40 or 45. It really depends on how much we read through. Let me check. Because we are at 212. 212. Yeah, I guess tonight will be really short. It's gonna be shorter than the other ones. Okay, we can read until 250. It's gonna be a shorter stream today. I think mostly because I'm really locked in with work that I kind of want to get back to it after stream. So, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you really want a really good cozy time, but I'm gonna have to end at like whenever we finish reading to 250. So that's like 47 pages, 48. Yeah. Or, yeah, 48 pages. And then we'll read the last half. Sunday. I feel like we could stream again this week, actually. Maybe like 3 times a... I would like to make up for Tuesday, because I didn't stream on Tuesday like I planned to. I don't remember why. I don't remember why I ended up not streaming on Tuesday. So I would like to stream maybe once again this week. Maybe Wednesday? Maybe. We'll see. Maybe Thursday instead. Thursday? I know on Friday I have a collab, I think. I had talks with someone about a collab on Friday, but I don't remember. I don't know. They haven't contacted me back about it. But yeah. Thank you for the hydrate, TV. Thank you. Thank you for the hydrate on shrimp and stretch. Thank you. Yippee. Yippee yippee. I remember that you asked me to say your name as either TV or Vampire, no? I think I just said I'll call you TV. I just wanted to make sure I got that right. Sorry, I'm burping a little bit. No, TV. Yeah, we'll get started. You are correct. Yippee! Yippee, yippee, yippee. Yeah, we'll get started in a sec. We can hit 20 minutes and then... Thank you for remembering, of course. Of course. Thank you for coming back. Okay. Oh yeah, I need to write down the... I don't know what's the last part of this book, if it has anything sensitive, but I should write down the warning. Typing ASMR is nice, huh? I wish I did more work that included typing and whatnot, but I don't. Most of it's artwork, so I have to, yeah. It's mostly tapping sounds and whatnot. It's not typing. I wish I had the opportunity to type more for like co-working sessions. Speaking of which, if I do another stream on Tuesday, or if I do stream on Tuesday, I do want to play like Muse Dash or something. I've been really into Muse Dash again. The thing is, I'm kind of dog shit at it. I'm kind of dog shit at Muse Dash, guys. And I'm scared that if I play it in front of you, it's just gonna be... I'm gonna fail. Also, my Muse Dash tends to lag a lot. I mean, your ASMR is great regardless. Aw, thank you. Thank you. I was like complaining a little bit. I was like, oh, I don't really feel like what I do is ASMR. I'm just a little guy that reads books. But I'm glad that people seem to come to my ASMR often. Oh. Random person 8192. Thank you for the follow. Thank you. Mwah. Thank you. Okay. We should just get started. Okay. We are on page 212. Like I said earlier, this stream is probably going to be a little bit shorter than the other reading streams. Reading ASMRs. We're only going to read 40 or so pages today, and then 40 the next time we do this. Yes. Because we are approaching the ending of the book, and so I cannot read, like, because we have like 80 or so pages until it finishes, but I cannot read 80, honestly, in one sitting. So I think 40 and 40 is good. 40 or so and 40 afterwards is good. So yes, one more Handmaid's Tale reading after this, and then I'll probably pick another book to read. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. But, also, since we're reading The Handmaid's Tale, I do want to say it's in its pinned. This book does depict some uncomfortable or sensitive topics, so if you are listening and you get uncomfortable, feel free to mute, leave the stream, just listen at your own discretion, and put your comfort first. Please put your comfort first. And without further ado, we shall start. Please feel free to just listen to me in the background. And I'll chill out, have a cozy time. Okay. Just a thank you in advance for coming. Thank you coming for the. Thank you. Thank you for coming for. Sorry. Thank you for coming in advance. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. I'm gonna start reading. We're on chapter 33. Chapter 33. Also, I will try to keep reading messages in case you like send anything. I'm gonna read messages like usually after the chapter ends. Just so that there's not a lot of talking in between. But yes. Okay. Late afternoon, the sky hazy. The sunlight diffused but heavy and everywhere, like bronze dust. I glide with Offglen along the sidewalk, the pair of us, and in front of us another pair, and across the street another. We must look good from a distance, picturesque, like Dutch maids on a wallpaper frieze, like a shelf full of period costume ceramics, salt, and pepper shakes, like a flotilla of swans or anything that repeats itself with at least minimum grace and without variation. Soothing to the eyes, the eyes, the eyes, for that's who this show is for. We're off to the pravaganza to demonstrate how obedient and pious we are. Not a dandelion in sight here. The laws are picked clean. I long for one, just one, rubbishly and insolently random and hard to get rid of, and perennially yellow as the sun, cheerful and plebeian, shining for all alike. Rings we would make from them, and crowns and necklaces, stains from the bitter milk on our fingers, or I'd hold one under her chin. Do you like butter? Smelling them, she'd get pollen on her nose. Or was that buttercups? Or gone to seed? I can see her, running across the lawn there just in front of me, at 2, 3 years old, waving one like a sparkler, a small wand of white fire, the air filling with tiny parachutes. Blow, and you tell the time. All that time, blowing away in the summer breeze. It was daisies for love, though, and we did that too. Hi, X2 Nasty, welcome in. We line up to get processed through the checkpoint, standing in our twos and twos and twos, like a private girls' school that went for a walk and stayed out too long. Years and years too long, so that everything has become overgrown, legs and bodies, dresses all together, as if enchanted. A fairy tale, I'd like to believe. Instead, we are checked through in our twos and continue walking. After a while, we turn right, heading past lilies and down towards the river. I wish I could go that far, to where the wide banks are, where we used to lie in the sun, where the bridges arch over. If you went down the river long enough, along its sinewy windings, you'd reach the sea. But what could you do there? Gather shells, loll on the oily stones. We aren't going to the river, though. We won't see the little cupolas on the buildings down that way, white with blue and gold trim, such chaste gaiety. We turn in at a more modern building, a huge banner draped over its door. Women's propaganda today. The banner covers the building's former name, some dead president they shot. Below the red writing, there's a line of smaller print in black, with the outline of a winged eye on either side of it. God is a national resource. On either side of the doorway stand the inevitable guardians, 2 pairs, 4 in all, arms at their sides, eyes front. They're like store mannequins almost, with their neat hair and pressed uniforms and plaster-hard young faces. No pimply ones today. Each has a submachine gun slung ready for whatever dangerous or subversive acts they think we might commit inside. The pravaganza is to be held in the covered courtyard where there's an oblong space, a skylight roof. It isn't a city-wide pravaganza that would be on a football field. It's only for this district. Rings of folding wooden chairs have been placed along the right side for the wives and daughters of high-ranking officials or officers. There's not that much difference. The galleries above, with their concrete railings, are for the lower-ranking women, the Marthas, the Econo wives in their multicolored stripes. Attendance at pravaganzas isn't compulsory for them, especially if they're on duty or have young children. But the galleries seem to be filling up anyway. I suppose it's a form of entertainment, like a show or a circus. A number of the wives are already seated in their best embroidered blue. We can feel their eyes on us as we walk in our red dresses 2 by 2 across the side opposite of them. We are being looked at, assessed, whispered about. We can feel it, like tiny acts running on our bare skins. Here there are no chairs. Our area is cordoned off with silky, twisted scarlet rope, like the kind they used to have in movie theaters to restrain the customers. This rope segregates us, marks us off, keeps the others from contamination by us, makes for us a coral or pen, so into it we go, arranging ourselves in rows, which we know very well how to do, kneeling then on the cement floor. Head for the back, Auckland murmurs by my side. We can talk better. And when we are kneeling, heads bowed slightly, I can hear from all around us a susurration, like the whistling of insects in tall, dry grass, a cloud of whispers. This is one of the places where we can exchange news more freely, pass it from one to the next. It's hard for them to single out any one of us or hear what's being said, and they wouldn't want to interrupt the ceremony, not in front of the television cameras. Auckland digs me in the side with her elbow to call my attention, and I look up, slowly and stealthily. From where we're kneeling, we have a good view of the entrance to the courtyard, where people are steadily coming in. It must be Janine she meant me to see, because there she is, paired with a new woman, not the former one, someone I don't recognize. Janine must have been transferred then, to a new household, a new posting. It's early for that. Has something gone wrong with her breast milk? That would be the only reason they'd move her, unless there's been a fight over the baby, which means more than you think. Once she had it, she may have resisted giving it up. I can see that. Her body under the red dress looks very thin, skinny almost, and she's lost that pregnant glow. Her face is white and peaked, as if the juice is being sucked out of her. It was no good, you know, Auckland says near the side of my head. It was a shredder after all. She means Janine's baby. The baby that passed through Janine on its way to somewhere else. The baby Angela. It was wrong to name her too soon. I feel an illness in the pit of my stomach. Not an illness, an emptiness. I don't want to know what was wrong with it. My God, I say. To go through all that for nothing. Worse than nothing. It's her second, Auckland says, not counting her own before. She had an 8th month miscarriage, don't you know? Oh. Soul VA, thank you for the raid. Sorry, I don't have raid alerts on, but thank you, Soul VA, for the raid. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What are you guys doing? Sorry, we're in the middle of reading right now. Hello, thank you for the raid. Let me give you a shout out. Anyway, let me give you a shout out. I feel bad because I've been neglecting to shout out people for a while. Hope I spelled that right. You're doing ASMR too? Yay! Oh my god. Thank you. Hope you had a good ASMR. Hope it was very cozy. Did I? Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Oh, thank you for... Oh god. I'm clicking buttons I didn't even know existed. Thank you for the raid. Oh. Yeah, we're reading The Handmaid's Tale right now. We're towards the end of it. We are on page 215 right now. Yeah, this is mostly the ASMR that I do. But thank you for the read. I hope you had a good ASMR. Yeah, and chat being silly. Yeah, that's good. It's fun. That's very fun. Oh, thank you for the follow too. Thank you. Thank you. Mwah. Yeah. Thank you for surrendering your community to me. For the people who just raided, my name is June. I haven't debuted this concept on my Twitch yet. But my name is June. I use any pronouns, and lore wise, I am a flesh creature that is born from a flesh pit. And I'm doing ASMR today. We're reading The Handmaid's Tale, so it's pretty much cozy time as I read to meat sacks. That's what you guys are. Yes. Thank you guys for coming with Soul Wolf on... Oh god, my eye is blinking. Thank you guys for coming with Soul Wolf on his raid. On the raid. Flesh creature is something. Yep. One day, if I have like an official debut, then I will go more into the lore, but it's not debuted here as of yet. You have a really pretty model. Thank you so much. This is just the customizable, but it is pretty close to the image I've been wanting. Thank you though. Thank you. Well, yes, thank you again, readers, for coming. I have to get back to reading. But if you would like to continue listening in, feel free to. I just want to make sure you guys read the pinned in case, to be careful when listening. But otherwise, if you have to write and run, feel free to. I have to continue reading. But thank you again. Thank you. Please continue. You have a nice voice. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay. Where did I leave off? Are you reading this book? Yes, I'm reading The Handmaid's Tale. Really good book. I didn't realize how dark it was until recently. Until I started reading. Okay. We watch as Janine enters the roped-off enclosure. In her veil of untouchability, of bad luck, she sees me. She must see me, but she looks right through me. No smile of triumph this time. She turns, kneels, and all I can see now is her back and the thin, bowed shoulders. She thinks it's her fault, Afghan whispers. 2 in a row, for being sinful. She used a doctor, they say. It wasn't her commanders at all. I can't say I do know, or Auckland will wonder how. As far as she's aware, she herself is my only source for this kind of information, of which she has a surprising amount. How would she have found out about Janine? The Marthas, Janine's shopping partner, listening at closed doors to the wives over their tea and wine, spinning their webs. Will Serena Joy talk about me like that, if I do as she wants? Agreed to it right away. Really, she didn't care. Anything with 2 legs and a good you-know-what was fine with her. They aren't squeamish. They don't have the same feelings we do. And the rest of them leaning forward in their chairs, My dear, all horror and prurience. How could she? Where? When? As they did no doubt with Janine. That's terrible, I say. It's like Janine, though, to take it upon herself, to decide the baby's flaws were due to her alone. But people will do anything rather than admit that their lives have no meaning, no use, that is, no plot. One morning, while we were getting dressed, I noticed that Janine was still in her white cotton nightgown. She was just sitting there on the edge of her bed. I looked over towards the double doors of the gymnasium where the aunt usually stood, to see if she noticed, but the aunt wasn't there. By that time, they were more confident about us. Sometimes they left us unsupervised in the classroom and even the cafeteria for minutes at a time. Probably she ducked out for a smoke or a cup of coffee. Look, I said to Alma, who had the bed next to mine. Alma looked at Janine. Then we both looked over to her. Get your clothes on, Janine, Alma said, to Janine's white back. We don't want extra prayers on account of you. But Janine didn't move. By that time, Maura had come over too. It was before she'd broken free, the second time. She was still limping from what they'd done to her feet. She ran around the bed so she could see Janine's face. Come here, she said to Alma and me. The others were beginning to gather too. There was a little crowd. Go on back, Moira said to them. Don't make a thing of it. What if she walks in? I was looking at Janine. Her eyes were open, but they didn't see me at all. They were rounded, wide, and her teeth were buried in a fixed smile. Through the smile, through her teeth, she was whispering to herself. I had to lean down close to her. Hello, she said, but not to me. My name is Janine. I'm your wait person for this morning. Can I get you some coffee to begin with? Christ, said Moira beside me. Don't swear, said Alma. Moira took Janine by the shoulders and shook her. Snap out of it, Janine, she said roughly. And don't use that word. Janine smiled. You have a nice day now, she said. Moira slapped her across the face, twice, back and forth. Get back here, she said. Get right back here. You can't stay there. You aren't there anymore. That's all gone. Janine's smile faltered. She put her hand up to her cheek. What did you hit me for? She said. Wasn't it good? I can bring you another. You didn't have to hit me. Don't you know what they'll do? Moira said. Her voice was low, but hard, intent. Look at me. My name is Moira, and this is the Red Center. Look at me. Janine's eyes began to focus. Moira? She said. I don't know any Moira. They won't send you to an infirmary, so don't even think about it, Moira said. They won't mess around with trying to cure you. They won't even bother to ship you to the colonies. You go too far away and they just take you up to the chemistry lab and shoot you. Then they burn you up with the garbage, like an unwoman. So forget it. I want to go home, Janine said. She began to cry. Jesus God, Moira said. That's enough. She'll be here in 1 minute, I promise you. So put your goddamn clothes on and shut up. Janine kept whimpering, but she also stood up and started to dress. She does that again, and I'm not here, Moira said to me. You just have to slap her like that. You can't let her go slipping over the edge. That stuff is catching. She must have already been planning then how she was going to get out. Now, chapter 33. As a TV show. Oh, the TV show gets dark. Yeah, I've seen the TV show for... Well, I haven't seen it, but I know that there's a TV show. I really want to watch it now that I've read the book. Okay, chapter 34. Sorry, my eye's dry. Chapter 34. The sitting space in the courtyard is filled now. We rustle and wait. At last the commander in charge of this service comes in. He's balding and squarely built and looks like an aging football coach. He's dressed in his uniform, sober black with the rows of insignia and decorations. It's hard not to be impressed, but I make an effort. I try to imagine him in bed with his wife and his handmaid, fertilizing away like mad, like a rutting salmon, pretending to take no pleasure in it. When the Lord said, "Be fruitful and multiply," did he mean this man? This commander ascends the steps to the podium, which is draped with a red cloth embroidered with a large white-winged eye. He gazes over the room, and our soft voices die. He doesn't even have to raise his hands. Then his voice goes into the microphone and are through the speakers, robbed of its lower tones so that it's simply, sharply metallic, as if it's being made not by his mouth, his body, but by the speakers themselves. His voice is metal-colored, horn-shaped. Today is a day of thanksgiving, he begins, a day of praise. I tune out through the speech about victory and sacrifice. Then there's a long prayer about unworthy vessels, then a hymn. There is a balm in Gilead. There's a balm in Gilead was what Moira used to call it. Now comes the main item. The 20 angels enter, newly returned from the fronts, newly decorated, accompanied by their honor guard, marching 1-2, 1-2 into the central open space, at attention, at ease. And now the 20 veiled daughters in white come shyly forward, their mothers holding their elbows. It's mothers, not fathers, who give away daughters these days and help with the arrangement of the marriages. The marriages are, of course, arranged. These girls haven't been allowed to be alone with a man for years, for however many years we've all been doing this. Are they old enough to remember anything of the time before? Playing baseball in jeans and sneakers, riding their bicycles, reading books all by themselves? Even though some of them are no more than 14, start them soon is the policy. There's not a moment to be lost. Still, they'll remember, and the ones after them will, for 3 or 4 or 5 years. But after that, they won't. They'll always have been in white, in groups of girls. They'll always have been silent. We've given them more than we've taken away, said the commander. Think of the trouble they had before. Don't you remember the singles bars, the indignity of high school blind dates, the meat market? Don't you remember the terrible gap between the ones who could get a man easily and the ones who couldn't? Some of them were desperate. They starved themselves thin or pumped their breasts full of silicone, had their noses cut off. Think of the human misery. He waved a hand at his stacks of old magazines. They were always complaining. Problems this, problems that. Remember the ads in the personal columns. Bright, attractive women. 35. This way they all get a man. Nobody's left out. And then if they did marry, they could be left with a kid. 2 kids. The husband might just get fed up and take off, disappear. They'd have to go on welfare. Or else he'd stay around and beat them up. Or if they had a job, the children in daycare or left with some brutal, ignorant woman, and they'd have to pay for that themselves, out of their wretched little paychecks. Money was the only measure of worth for everyone. They got no respect as mothers. No wonder they were giving up on the whole business. This way, they're protected. They can fulfill their biological destinies in peace, with full support and encouragement. Now tell me, you're an intelligent person. I'd like to hear what you think. What did we overlook? Love, I said. Love, said the commander. What kind of love? Falling in love, I said. The commander looked at me with his candid boy's eyes. Oh yes, he said. I've read the magazines. That's what they were pushing, wasn't it? But look at the stats, my dear. Was it really worth it, falling in love? Arranged marriages have always worked out just as well, if not better. Love, said Aunt Lydia with distaste. Don't let me catch you at it. No mooning and juning around here, girls, wagging her finger at us. Love is not the point. Those years were just an anomaly, historically speaking, the commander said. Just a fluke. All we've done is return things to nature's norm. Women's pravaganzas are for group weddings like this, usually. The men's are for military victories. These are the things we are supposed to rejoice in the most, respectively. Sometimes, though, for the women, they're for a nun who recants. Most of that happened earlier, when they were rounding them up. But they still unearth a few these days, dredge them up from the ground where they've been hiding, like moles. They have that look about them, too. Weak-eyed, stunned by too much light. The old ones they send off to the colonies right away. But the young, fertile ones they try to convert. And when they succeed, we all come here to watch them. Go through the ceremony, renounce their celibacy, sacrifice it to the common good. They kneel and the commander prays, and then they take the red veil, as the rest of us have done. They aren't allowed to become wives, though. They're considered still too dangerous for positions of such power. There's an odor of witch about them, something mysterious and exotic, and it remains despite the scrubbing and the welts on their feet and the time they've spent in solitary. They always have those welts. They've always done that time. So rumor goes, they don't let it go easily. Many of them choose the colonies instead. None of us like to draw one for a shopping partner. They are more broken than the rest of us. It's hard to feel comfortable with them. The mothers have stood. The white-veiled girls in place have returned to their chairs. There's a little crying going on among them, some mutual patting and hand-holding, the ostentatious use of handkerchiefs. The commander continues with the service. I will that women adorn themselves in modest apparel, he says, with shamefacedness and sobriety, not with braided hair or gold, or pearls or costly array, but which becometh women professing godliness with good works. Let the women learn in silence with all subjection. Here he looks us over. All. But I suffer not a woman to teach, not to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. For Adam was first formed, then Eve. And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression. Notwithstanding, she shall be saved by childbearing, if they continue in faith and charity and holiness with sobriety. Saved by childbearing, I think. What did we suppose would save us in the time before? He should tell that to the wives, Auckland murmurs, when they're into the sherry. She means the part about sobriety. It's safe to talk again. The commander has finished the main ritual and they're doing the rings, lifting the veils. Boo, I think in my head. Take a good look, because it's too late now. The angels will qualify for handmaids later, especially if their new wives can't produce. But you girls are stuck. What you see is what you get, zits and all. But you aren't expected to love him. You'll find that out soon enough. Just do your duty in silence. When in doubt, when flat on your back, you can look at the ceiling. Who knows what you may see up there? Funeral wreaths and angels, constellations of dust, stellar or otherwise, the puzzles left by spiders. There's always something to occupy the inquiring mind. Is anything wrong, dear? The old joke went. No, why? You moved. Just don't move. What we're aiming for, says Aunt Lydia, is a spirit of camaraderie among women. We must all pull together. Camaraderie, shit, says Moira through the hole in the toilet cubicle. Right fucking on, Aunt Lydia, as they used to say. How much you want to bet she's got Janine down on her knees? What do you think they get up to in that office of hers? I bet she's got her working away on that dried up, hairy old withered... Moira, I say. Moira what? She whispers. You know you've thought it. It doesn't do any good to talk like that. I say, feeling nevertheless the impulse to giggle. But I still pretended to myself then that we should try to preserve something resembling dignity. You were always such a wimp, Moira says, but with affection. It does so do good, it does. And she's right. I know that now, as I kneel on this undeniably hard floor, listening to the ceremony drone on. There is something powerful in the whispering of obscenities, about those in power. There's something delightful about it, something naughty, secretive, forbidden, thrilling. It's like a spell of sorts. It deflates them, reduces them to the common denominator where they can be dealt with. In the pain of the washroom cubicle, someone unknown had scratched, "Aunt Lydia sucks." It was the flag that waved from a hilltop in rebellion. The mere idea of Aunt Lydia doing such a thing was in itself heartening. So now I imagine, among these angels and their drained white brides, momentous grunts and sweating, damn furry encounters, or better, ignominious failures, cocks like 3-week-old carrots, anguished fumblings upon flesh cold and unresponding as uncooked fish. When it's over and last, and we are walking out, Offland says to me in her light, penetrating whisper, "We know you're seeing him alone." "Who?" I say, resisting the urge to look at her. "I know who." "Your commander," she says. "We know you have been." I ask her how. "I just know. We just know," she says. "What does he want? Kinky sex?" It would be hard to explain to her what he does want, because I still have no name for it. How can I describe what really goes on between us? She would laugh, for one thing. It's easier for me to say, "In a way." That at least has a dignity of coercion. She thinks about this. "You'd be surprised," she says, "how many of them do." "I can't help it," I say. "I can't say I won't go." She ought to know that. We're on the sidewalk now, and it's not safe to talk. We're too close to the others, and the protective whispering of the crowd is gone. We walk in silence, lagging behind, until finally she judges she can say, "Of course you can't, but find out and tell us." "Find out about what?" I say. I feel rather than then see the slight turning of her head. "Anything you can." That was chapter 34. Hi, Mira. Hello. Adjusting myself. Hello. Oh my god. Can you hear? Can you hear my? Did you hear my neck break? Not break. Crack. Ah. Okay. Thank you for the 1 biddy. Lots. I kind of want to try British food. Some pie and mashed with jellied eels on the side. Is that a real meal? Is that a real meal they eat over there? I have some British friends. I can ask them. Well, what makes you want to try British food all of a sudden, Watts? Oh my god, Kai Kuroyomi. Hi Kai, hello. Kai, I still need to get into your freaking Pal World server. Kai, is that a real meal you guys have? Pie and mashed with jellied eels. TikTok. You're gonna hydrate. I was gonna hydrate actually. Give me a second. Hell fucking no, dog. I don't know. That's what Watts said, apparently. I don't know. I don't know. I guess it's the south side of the UK. Is it? Oh my gosh. Have you seen Stargazy Pie? Stargazy Pie? What the fuck is that? Is that fish? This... Dude. This isn't real, right? It's not real, right? All these images look AI generated. Please. /J. /J right? /J right? Oh my god, I see a stupid mosquito. South of UK also, they're crazy down there. Oh my goodness. Also, I literally see a mosquito on my wall. Give me a second. Give me a second. I'm gonna commit murder. I'm gonna commit murder right now. Hold up. Give me a second. The pest has been eliminated. I'll clean it up later. Any crazy down there? Oh my gosh. Hey, shoot. My dog is here. He got scared because I killed the mosquito. I slammed my iPad pencil case onto the wall against the mosquito. But yeah. Okay. Chapter 35. Okay. Chapter 35. Oh, I think if I plan to cut this down to 2 VODs, like the last part of the reading, I could just combine them together and put them as one VOD in the VOD channel, I think. I would just have to cut them, or like just stick them together so that they're one VOD. And so people won't have to watch 2 videos for the ending of the stream. Ending of the book, rather. We'll see. We'll see. Ugh. Okay. I continue on. I continue reading chapter 35. Now there's a space to be filled in the too warm air of my room, and a time also, a space-time, between here and now, and there and then, punctuated by dinner. The arrival of the tray, carried up the stairs as if for an invalid. An invalid, one who has been invalidated. No valid passport, no exit. I've been summoned. I heard the Bible. I wasn't reading the Bible, no. That was what happened. The day we tried to cross at the border with our fresh passports. That said, we were not who we were. That Luke, for instance, had never been divorced. That we were therefore lawful, under the law. The man went inside with our passports. After we'd explained about the picnic and he'd glanced into the car and seen our daughter asleep in her zoo of mangy animals, Luke patted my arm and got out of the car as if to stretch his legs and watch the man through the window of the immigration building. I stayed in the car. I lit the cigarette to steady myself and drew the smoke in. a long breath of counterfeit relaxation. I was watching two soldiers in the unfamiliar uniforms that were beginning, by then, to be familiar. They were standing idly beside the yellow and black striped lift-up barrier. They weren't doing much. One of them was watching a flock of birds, gulls, lifting and aiding and landing on the bridge railing beyond. Watching him, I watched them too. Everything was the color it usually is, only brighter. It's going to be all right, I said, prayed in my head. Oh, let it. Let us cross. Let us cross. Just this once, and I'll do anything. What I thought I could do for whoever was listening that would be of the least use or even interest, I'll never know. Then Luke got back into the car, too fast, and turned the key and reversed. He was picking up the phone, he said, and then he began to drive very quickly. And after that, there was a dirt road and the woods, and we jumped out of the car and began to run. A cottage to hide in, a boat. I don't know what he thought. He said the passports were foolproof, and we had so little time to plan. Maybe he had a plan, a map of some kind in his head. As for me, I was only running away. I don't want to be telling this story. I don't have to tell it. I don't have to tell anything, to myself or to anyone else. I could just sit here, peacefully. I could withdraw. It's possible to go so far in, so far down and back. They could never get you out. Nolite de bastardis coborundorum. Fat lot of good it did her. Why fight? That will never do. Love? Said the commander. That's better. That's something I know about. We can talk about that. Falling in love, I said. Falling into it, we all did then, one way or another. How could he have made such light of it, sneered even, as if it was trivial for us, a frill, a whim. It was, on the contrary, heavy going. It was the central thing. It was the way you understood yourself, if it never happened to you, not ever. You would be like a mutant, a creature from outer space. Everyone knew that. Falling in love, we said. I fell for him. We were falling women. We believed in it. This downward motion, so lovely, like flying, and yet at the same time so dire, so extreme, so unlikely. God is love, they once said, but we reversed that, and love, like heaven, was always just around the corner. The more difficult it was to love the particular man beside us, the more we believed in love, abstract and total. We were waiting, always, for the incarnation, that word made flesh. And sometimes it happened for a time. That kind of love comes and goes and is hard to remember afterwards, like pain. You would look at the man one day and you would think, I loved you. And the word tense would be past, and you would be filled with a sense of wonder, because it was such an amazing and precarious and dumb thing to have done, and you would know too why your friends have been evasive about it at that time. There is a good deal of comfort now in remembering this. Or sometimes, even when you were still loving, still falling, you'd wake up in the middle of the night when the moonlight was coming through the window into a sleeping face, making the shadows in the sockets of his eyes darker and more cavernous than in daytime, and you'd think, who knows what they do, on their own or with other men? Who knows what they say or where they are likely to go? Who can tell what they really are under their dailiness? Likely, you would think at those times, what if he doesn't love me? Or you'd remember stories you'd read in the newspapers about women who had been found. Often women, but sometimes they would be men or children. That was the worst. In ditches or forests or refrigerators in abandoned rented rooms with their clothes on or off. Sexually abused or not, at any rate killed. There were places you didn't want to walk. Precautions you took that had to do with locks on windows and doors, drawing the curtains, leaving on lights. These things you did were like prayers. You did them, and you hoped they would save you. And for the most part, they did. Or something did. You could tell by the fact that you were still alive. But all that was pertinent only in the night, and had nothing to do with the man you loved, at least in daylight. With that man you wanted it to work out. Working out was also something you did to keep your body in shape for the man. If you worked out enough, maybe the man would too. Maybe you would be able to work it out together, as if the two of you were a puzzle that could be solved. Otherwise, one of you, most likely the man, would go wandering off on a trajectory of his own, taking his addictive body with him and leaving you with bad withdrawal, which you could counteract by exercise. If you didn't work it out, it was because one of you had the wrong attitude. Everything that went on in your life was thought to be due to some positive or negative power emanating from inside your head. If you don't like it, change it, we said, to each other and to ourselves. And so we would change the man for another one. Change, we were sure, was for the better always. We were revisionists. What we revised was ourselves. It's strange to remember how we used to think, as if everything were available to us, as if there were no contingencies, no boundaries, as if we were free to shape and reshape forever the ever-expanding perimeters of our lives. I was like that too. I did that too. Luke was not the first man for me, and he might not have been the last. If he hadn't been frozen that way, stopped dead in time in mid-air, among the trees back there, in the act of falling. In former times, they would send you a little package of the belongings, what he had with him when he died. That's what they would do in wartime, my mother said. How long were you supposed to mourn, and what did they say? Make your life a tribute to the loved one, and he was the loved one. Is, I say. Is only 2 letters, you stupid shit. Can't you manage to remember it? Even a short word like that? I wiped my sleeve across my face. Once I wouldn't have done that, for fear of smearing. But now nothing comes off. Whatever expression is there, unseen by me, is real. You'll have to forgive me. I'm a refugee from the past, and like other refugees, I go over the customs and habits of being left or I've been forced to leave behind me. And it all seems just as quaint from here, and I am just as obsessive about it, like a white Russian drinking tea in Paris, marooned in the 20th century. I wander back, try to regain those distant pathways. I become too maudlin, lose myself, weep. Weeping is what it is, not crying. I sit in this chair and ooze like a sponge. So, more waiting. Lady in waiting. That's what they used to call those stores where you could buy maternity clothes. Women in waiting sounds more like someone in a train station. Waiting is also a place. It is wherever you wait. For me, it's this room. I am a blank here, between parentheses, between other people. The knock comes at my door. Cora, with the tray. But it isn't Cora. I've brought it for you, says Serena Joy. And then I look up and around and get out of my chair and come towards her. She's holding it, a Polaroid print, square and glossy. So they still make them, cameras like that. And there will be family albums too, with all the children in them. No handmaids though. From the point of view of future history, this kind will be invisible. But the children will be in them all right. Something for the wives to look at downstairs, nibbling at the buffet and waiting for the birth. You can have it for a minute, Serena Joy says, her voice low and conspiratorial. I have to return it before they know it's missing. It must have been a Martha who got it for her. There's a network of the Marthas then, with something in it for them. That's nice to know. I take it from her, turn it around so I can see it right side up. Is this her? Is this what she's like? My treasure. So tall and changed. smiling a little now, so soon, and in her white dress as if for an olden days first communion. Time has not stood still. It has washed over me, washed me away, as if I'm nothing more than a woman of sand, left by a careless child too near the water. I've been obliterated for her. I'm only a shadow now, far back behind the glib, shiny surface of this photograph. A shadow of a shadow, as dead mothers become. You can see it in her eyes. I am not there. But she exists in her white dress. She grows and lives. Isn't that a good thing? A blessing? Still, I can't bear it, to have been erased like that. Better she'd brought me nothing. I sit at the little table, eating creamed corn with a fork. I have a fork and a spoon, but never a knife. When there's meat, they cut it up for me instead ahead of time, as if I'm lacking manual skills or teeth. I have both, however. That's why I'm not allowed a knife. That's chapter 35. Chapter 35. Yippee! Wah. Yeah. We still have like 20 pages to go through. I think we should be done by like 2 hours. 2 hours. For like this section. Hi Josiah, welcome in. Now you're making me more sleepy and I'll be knocked out. Sleep time. It is sleep time. Yeah, nice. Yeah, we're reading The Handmaid's Tale. We're not finishing it tonight, even though we are really close. I'm gonna save the next half in the next stream. Wait, hello Josiah. I'm quite different than how I am on Irium, no? I'm way more calmer on Twitch. At least I think so. At least I think so. Hello. Yeah, we're just reading The Handmaid's Tale right now. I was deciding if I wanted to do something, but I don't think I should. I don't think I should. Next time. Okay. Chapter 36. Let's continue reading. I knock on his door, hear his voice, adjust my face, go in. He's standing by the fireplace. In his hand, he's got an almost empty drink. He usually waits till I get here to start on the hard liquor, though I know they have wine with dinner. His face is a little flushed. I try to estimate how many he's had. Greetings, he says. How is the fair little one this evening? A few, I can tell by the elaborateness of the smile he composes and aims. He's in the courtly phase. I'm fine, I say. Up for a little excitement? Pardon? I say. Behind this act of his, I sense embarrassment, and uncertainty about how far he can go with me, and in what direction. Tonight, I have a little surprise for you, he says. He laughs. It's more like a snigger. I notice that everything this evening is a little. He wishes to diminish things, myself included. Something you'll like. What's that? I say. Chinese checkers? I can take these liberties. He appears to enjoy them, especially after a couple of drinks. He prefers me frivolous. Something better, he says, attempting to be tantalizing. I can hardly wait. Good, he says. He goes to his desk, fumbles with a drawer, then he goes towards me, one hand behind his back. Guess, he says. Animal, vegetable, or mineral, I say. Oh, animal, he says with mock gravity. Definitely animal, I'd say. He brings his hand out from behind his back. He's holding a handful, it seems, of feathers, mauve and pink. Now he shakes this out. It's a garment, apparently, and for a woman there are the cups for the breasts, covered in purple sequins. The sequins are tiny stars. The feathers are around the thigh holes and along the top. So I wasn't that wrong about the girdle after all. I wonder where he found it. All such clothing was supposed to have been destroyed. I remember seeing that on television, in news clips filmed in one city after another. In New York, it was called the Manhattan Cleanup. There are bonfires in Times Square, crowds chanting around them, women throwing their arms up thankfully into the air when they felt the cameras on them, clean-cut, stony-faced young men tossing things into the flames, armfuls of silk and nylon and fake fur, lime green, red, violet, black satin, gold lame, glittering silver, bikini underpants, see-through brasiers with pink satin hearts sewn on to cover the nipples, and the manufacturers and importers and salesmen down on their knees, repenting in public, conical paper hats like dunce hats on their heads, shame printed on them in red. But some items must have survived the burning. They couldn't possibly have gone at all. He must have gotten by this in the same way he came by the magazines. Not honestly. It reeks of black market, and it's not new. It's been worn before. The cloth under the arms is crumpled and slightly stained with some other woman's sweat. I had to guess the size, he says. I hope it fits. You expect me to put that on? I say. I know my voice sounds prudish, disapproving. Still, there's something attractive in the idea. I'd never worn anything remotely like this, so glittering and the art and theatrical, and that's what it must be, an old theater costume or something from a vanished nightclub act. The closest I ever came were bathing suits and a camisole set, peach lace that Luke bought for me once. Yet there's an enticement in this thing. It carries with it the childish allure of dressing up, and it would be so flaunting, such a sneer at the aunts, so sinful, so free. Freedom, like everything else, is relative. Well, I say, not wishing to seem too eager. I want him to feel like I'm doing him a favor. Now he may come to it, his deep down real desire. Does he have a pony whip, hidden behind the door? Will he produce boots, bend himself or me over the desk? It's a disguise, he says. You'll need to paint your face too. I've got the stuff for it. You'll never get in without it. In where? I ask. Tonight, I'm taking you out. Out? It's an archaic phrase. Surely there is nowhere anymore where a man can take a woman out. Out of here, he says. I know without being told what he's proposing is risky. For him, but especially for me. But I want to go anyway. I want anything that breaks the monotony, subverts the perceived respectable order of things. I tell him I don't want him to watch me while I put this thing on. I'm still shy in front of him about my body. He says he will turn his back, and does so, and I take off my shoes and stockings, and my cotton underpants, and slide the feathers on, under the tent of my dress. Then I take off the dress itself, and slip the thin sequin straps over my shoulders. There are shoes too, mauve ones, with absurdly high heels. Nothing quite fits. The shoes are a little too big, the waist on the costume's too tight, and it will do. There, I say, and he turns around. I feel stupid. I want to see myself in the mirror. Charming, he says. Now for the face. All he has is lipstick, old and runny and smelling of artificial grapes, and some eyeliner and mascara. No eyeshadow and no blusher. For a moment, I think I don't remember how to do any of this. And for my first try with the eyeliner leaves me with a smudged black lid, as if I'd been in a fight. But I wipe it off with the vegetable oil hand lotion and try again. I rub some of the lipstick along my cheekbones, blending it in. While I do this, he holds a large silver-backed hand mirror for me. I recognize it as Serena Joy's. He must have borrowed it from her room. Nothing can be done about my hair. Terrific, he says. By this time, he's quite excited. It's as if we're dressing for a party. He goes to the cupboard and gets out a cloak with a hood. It's light blue, the color for wives. This too must be Serena's. Pull the hood down over your face, he says. Try not to smear the makeup. It's for getting through the checkpoints. But what about my pass? I say. Don't worry about that, he says. I've got one for you. And so we set out. We glide together through the darkening streets. The commander has hold of my right hand as if we're teenagers at the movies. I clutch the sky blue cape tightly around me, as a good wife should. Through the tunnel made by the hood, I can see the back of Nick's head. His hat on is on straight. He's sitting up straight. His neck is straight. He's all very straight. His posture disapproves me. Or am I imagining it? Does he know what I've got on under this cloak? Did he procure it? And if so, does this make him angry or lustful or envious or anything at all? We do have something in common. Both of us are supposed to be invisible. Both of us are functionaries. I wonder if he knows this. When he opened the door of the car for the commander, and by extension, for me, I tried to catch his eye, make him look at me, but he acted as if he didn't see me. Why not? It's a soft job for him, running little errands, doing little favors, and there's no way he'd want to jeopardize it. The checkpoints are no problem. Everything goes as smoothly as the commander said it would, despite the heavy pounding, the pressure of blood in my head. Chicken shit, Moira would say. Past the second checkpoint, Nick says, "Here, sir?" And the commander says yes. The car pulls over and the commander says, "Now, I'll have to ask you to get down onto the floor of the car." Down? I say. We have to go through the gateway, he says, as if this means something to me. I tried to ask him where we were going, but he said he wanted to surprise me. Wives aren't allowed. So I flatten myself and the car starts again, and for the next few minutes I see nothing. Under the cloak it's stifling hot. It's a winter cloak, not a cotton summer one, and it smells of mothballs. He must have borrowed it from storage, knowing she wouldn't notice. He has considerably moved his feet to give me room. Nevertheless, my forehead is against his shoes. I lost my place. Hold up. I have never been this close to his shoes before. They feel hard, unwinking, like the shells of beetles, black, polished, inscrutable. They seem to have nothing to do with feet. We pass through another checkpoint. I hear the voices, impersonal, deferential, and the window rolling electrically down and up for the passes to be shown. This time he won't show mine, the one that's supposed to be mine, as I'm no longer in official existence for now. Then the car starts, and then it stops again, and the commander is helping me up. We'll have to be fast, he says. This is a back entrance. You should leave the cloak with Nick, on the hour as usual. He says to Nick, so this too is something he's done before. He helps me out of the cloak. The car door is opened. I feel air on my almost bare skin and realize I've been sweating. As I turn to shut the door behind me, I can see Nick looking at me through the glass. He sees me now. Is it contempt I read, or indifference? Is this merely what he expected of me? We're in an alleyway behind a building, red brick and fairly modern. A bank of trash cans is set out beside the door, and there's a smell of fried chicken going bad. The commander has a key to the door, which is plain and gray and flush with the wall, and I think made of steel. Inside it, there's a concrete block corridor lit with fluorescent overhead lights, some kind of functional tunnel. Here, the commander said. He slips around my wrist a tag, purple on an elastic band, like the tags for airport luggage. If anyone asks you, say you're an evening rental, he says. He takes me by the bare upper arm and steers me forward. What I want is a mirror to see if my lipstick is alright. Whether the feathers are too ridiculous, too floozy. In this light I must look lurid, though it's too late now. Idiot, says Moira. Dang, that was chapter 36. Looking ahead. Okay. Yay! Hi, Drowsy Coco. Welcome in. Hello. Also, Kish. Thank you for the follow. Thank you. Mwah. Thank you. Mwah. Give me more. I'm gonna hydrate. Oh. Drowsy Coco, thank you for the follow too. And Spaceship, thank you for the follow as well. Thank you guys. Thank you. Hydrated. I don't have that much water with me, so I'm like making like a fourth of the water in the bottle like last for the next pages I have to read. Thank you for the stretch. Thank you. Hey, Soup. My dog is here. You need water? I do. Well, I have water over at my other desk too. Water very good? It is very good. Very good indeed. I have some over in on the one next to my bed. So I can grab that if I run out of the one next to me right now. Hey, Shoo. Sorry, my dog is here. I'm petting him. I'm petting him. There. We're ending in like 250, I think. Yeah. 250, and right now we're on page 234. So, very short reading stream. It's only been an hour and a half. I'm not used to that. I'm used to reading a lot more, but I want to split it up so we can actually, like, the chance of me reading the ending in one stream is higher. Okay, let's continue with chapter 37. We go along the corridor and through another flat gray door and along another corridor, softly lit and carpeted this time, in a mushroom color, browny pink. Doors open off it with numbers on them. 101, 102, the way you count during a thunderstorm, to see how close you are to being struck. It's a hotel then. From behind one of the doors comes laughter, a man's and also a woman's. It's a long time since I've heard that. We emerge into a central courtyard. It's wide and also high. It goes up several stories to a skylight and at the top. There's a fountain in the middle of it, a round fountain spraying water in the shape of a dandelion gone to seed. Potted plants and trees sprout here and there. Vines hang down from the balconies. Oval-sided glass elevators slide up and down the walls like giant mollusks. I know where I am. I've been here before, with Luke, in the afternoons a long time ago. It was a hotel then. Now it's full of women. I stand still and stare at them. I can stare, here, look around me, and there are no white wings to keep me from it. My head, shorn of them, feels curiously light, as if a weight has been removed from it or a substance. The women are sitting, lounging, strolling, leaning against one another. There are men mingled with them, a lot of men, but in their dark uniforms or suits, so similar to one another, They form only a kind of background. The women, on the other hand, are tropical, and they are dressed in all kinds of bright, festive gear. Some of them have on outfits like mine, feathers and glister, cut high up on the thighs, low over the breasts. Some are in olden days lingerie, short tie nightgowns, baby doll pajamas, the occasional see-through negligee. Some are in bathing suits, one piece or bikini. One, I see, is wearing a crocheted affair with big scallop shells covering the tits. Some are in jogging shorts and sawn halters. Some in exercise costumes like the ones they used to show on television, body tight with knitted pastel leg warmers. There are even a few in cheerleader outfits, little pleated skirts, outsized letters across the chests. I guess they've had to fall back on mileage, whatever they could scrounge or salvage. All wear makeup, and I realize how unaccustomed I've become to seeing it on women because their eyes look too big to me, too dark and shimmering, their mouths too red, too wet, blood-dipped and glistening, or, on the other hand, too clownish. At first glance, there's a cheerfulness to the scene. It's like a masquerade party. They are like oversized children, dressed up in togs they've rummaged from trunks. Is there joy in this? There could be. But have they chosen it? You can't tell by looking. There are a great many buttocks in this room. I am no longer used to them. It's like walking into the past, says the commander. His voice sounds pleased, delighted even. Don't you think? I try to remember if the past was exactly like this. I'm not sure now. I know it contained these things, but somehow the mix is different. A movie about the past is not the same as the past. Yes, I say. What I feel is not one simple thing. Certainly, I am not dismayed by these women, not shocked by them. I recognize them as truants. The official creed denies them, denies their very existence, yet here they are. That is at least something. Don't gawk, says the commander. You'll give yourself away. Just act natural. Again, he leads me forward. Another man has spotted him, has greeted him and set himself in motion towards us. The commander grip tightens on my upper arm. Steady, he says. Don't lose your nerve. All you have to do, I tell myself, is keep your mouth shut and look stupid. It shouldn't be that hard. The commander does the talking for me, to this man and to the others who follow him. He doesn't say much about me. He doesn't need to. He says I'm new, and they look at me and dismiss me and confer together about other things. My disguise performs its function. He retains hold of my arm, and as he talks his spine straightens imperceptibly, with his chest expanding. His voice assumes more and more the sprightliness and jocularity of youth. It occurs to me he is showing me off to them, and they understand that. They are decorous enough. They keep their hands to themselves, but they review my breasts, my legs, as if there's no reason why they shouldn't. But also he's showing off to me. He's demonstrating to me his mastery of the world. He's breaking the rules under their noses, thumbing his nose at them, getting away with it. Perhaps he's reached that state of intoxication which power is said to inspire, the state in which you believe you are indispensable and can therefore do anything. Absolutely anything you feel like, anything at all. Twice, when he thinks no one is looking, he winks at me. It's a juvenile display, the whole act, and pathetic, but it's something I understand. When he's done enough of this, he leads me away again, to a puffy flowered sofa of the kind they once had in hotel lobbies. In this lobby, in fact. It's a floral design I remember. Dark blue background, pink Art Nouveau flowers. I thought your feet might be getting tired, he says, in those shoes. He's right about that, and I'm grateful. He sits me down and sits himself down beside me. He puts an arm around my shoulders. The fabric of his sleeve is raspy against my skin, so unaccustomed lately to being touched. Well, he says, what do you think of our little club? I look around me again. The men are not homogeneous as I first thought. Over the fountain there's a group of Japanese in lightish gray suits, and in the far corner there's a splash of white. Arabs in those long bathrobes they wear, the headgear, the striped sweatbands. It's a club? I say. Well, that's what we call it, among ourselves, the club. I thought this sort of thing was strictly forbidden. Well, officially. But everyone's human after all. I wait for him to elaborate on this, but he doesn't. So I say, what does this mean? It means you can't cheat nature, he says. Nature demands variety for women. It stands to reason. It's part of the procreational strategy. It's nature's plan. I don't say anything, so he goes on. Women know that instinctively. Why did they buy so many different outfits in the old days? To trick the men into thinking there were several different women? A new one each day. He says this as if he believes it, but he says many things that way. Maybe he believes it, maybe he doesn't, or maybe he does both at the same time. Impossible to tell what he believes. So now that we don't have different clothes, you merely have different women. This is irony, but he doesn't acknowledge it. It solves a lot of problems, he says, without a twitch. I don't reply to this. I'm getting fed up with him. I feel like freezing on him, passing the rest of the evening in sulky wordlessness. But I can't afford that, and I know it. Whatever this is, it's still an evening out. What I'd really like to do is talk with the women, but I see scant chance of that. Who are these people? I ask him. It's only for the officers, he says, from all branches and senior officials, and trade delegations, of course. It stimulates trade. It's a good place to meet people. You can hardly do business without it. We try to provide at least as good as they can get elsewhere. You can overhear things too. Information. A man will sometimes tell a woman things we wouldn't tell another man. No, I say. I mean the women. Oh. Well, some of them are real pros, working girls. He laughs. From the time before, they couldn't be assimilated anyway. Most of them prefer it here. And the others? The others? Well, we have quite a collection. That one there, the one in green, she's a sociologist, or was. That one was a lawyer. That one was in business, an executive position. Some sort of fast food chain, or maybe it was hotels. I'm told you can have quite a good conversation with her if all you feel like is talking. They prefer it here too. Prefer it to what? To the alternatives, he says. You might even prefer it yourself to what you've got. He says this coyly. He's fishing. He wants to be complimented, and I know that the serious part of the conversation has come to an end. I don't know, I say, as if considering it. It might be hard work. You'd have to watch your weight, that's for sure. They're strict about that. Gain 10 pounds and they put you in solitary. Is he joking? Most likely, but I don't want to know. Now, he says, to get you into the spirit of the place, how about a little drink? I'm not supposed to, as you know. Once won't hurt. Anyway, it wouldn't look right if you didn't. No nicotine and alcohol taboos here. You see, they do have some advantages here. Alright, I say. Secretly, I like the idea. I haven't had a drink in years. What will it be then? He says. They've got everything here, imported. A gin and tonic, I say, but weak, please. I wouldn't want to disgrace you. You won't do that, he says, grinning. He stands up, then surprisingly takes my hand and kisses it on the palm. Then he moves off, heading for the bar. He could have called over a waitress. There were some of these in identical black miniskirts with pom-poms on their breasts, but they seemed busy and hard to flag down. Then I see her, Moira. She's standing with two other women over near the fountain. I have to look hard again to make sure it's her. I do this in pulses, quick flickers of the eyes so no one will notice. She's dressed absurdly in a black outfit of one shiny Satan that looks the worst for wear. It's strapless, wired from the inside, pushing up the breasts, but it doesn't quite fit Moira. It's too large, so that one breast is plumped out and the other one isn't. She's tugging absentmindedly at the top, pulling it up. There's a water cannon attached to the back. I can see it as she half turns. It looks like a sanitary pad that's been propped like a piece of popcorn. I realize that it's supposed to be a tail. Attached to her head are two ears of rabbit or a deer. It's not easy to tell. One of the ears has lost its starch or wiring and is flopping halfway down. She has a black bow tie around her neck and is wearing black net stockings and black high heels. She always hated high heels. The whole costume, antique and bizarre, reminds me of something from the past, but I can't think that. A stage play? A musical comedy? Girls dressed for Easter in rabbit suits? What is the significance of it here? Why are rabbits supposed to be sexually attractive to men? How can this bedraggled costume appeal? Moira is smoking a cigarette. She takes a long drag, passes it to the woman on her left, who's in red spangles with a long pointed tail attached, and silver horns. A devil outfit. Now she has her arms folded across her front, under her wired-up breasts. She stands on one foot, then the other. Her feet must hurt. Her spine sags slightly. She gazes without interest or speculation around the room. This must be familiar scenery. I will her to look at me, to see me, but her eyes slide over me as if I'm just another palm tree, another chair. Surely she must turn. I'm willing so hard. She must look at me, before one of the men comes over to her, before she disappears. Already the other woman with her, the blonde in the short pink bed jacket with a tidy fur trim, has been appropriated, has entered the glass elevator, has ascended out of sight. Moira swivels her head around again, checking perhaps for prospects. It must be hard to stand there unclaimed, as if she's at a high school dance, being looked over. This time her eyes snag on me. She sees me. She knows enough not to react. We stare at one another, keeping our faces blank, apathetic. Then she makes a small motion of her head, a slight jerk to the right. She takes the cigarette back from the woman in red, holds it to her mouth, lets her head rest in the air in a moment, all 5 fingers outspread. Then she turns her back on me. Our old signal. I have 5 minutes to get to the woman's washroom, which must be somewhere to her right. I look around. No sign of it. Nor can I risk getting up and walking anywhere without the commander. I don't know enough. I don't know the ropes. I might be challenged. A minute two, Moira begins to saunter off, not glancing around. She can only hope I've understood her and I will follow. The commander comes back with 2 drinks. He smiles down at me, places the drinks on the long black coffee table in front of the sofa, sits. "Enjoying yourself?" he says. He wants me to. This, after all, is a treat. I smile him. "Is there a washroom?" I say. "Of course," he says. He sips at his drink. He does not volunteer directions. I need to go to it. I'm counting in my head now. Seconds, not minutes. "It's over there," he nods. "But what if someone stops me?" "Just show them your tag," he says. "It'll be alright. They'll know you're taken." I get up, wobble across the room. I lurch a little, near the fountain. Almost fall. It's the heels. Without the commander's arm to steady me, I'm off balance. Several of the men look at me with surprise. I think rather than lust. I feel like a fool. I hold my left arm conspicuously in front of me, bent at the elbow, with the tag turned outward. Nobody says anything. That was chapter 37. Yay! We have 10 pages left. 10 pages left. I think, yeah, oh. The next 10 pages are chapter 38. Hi, Moose. Welcome in. Hello, Moose. Yay, yeah. This next chapter is gonna be long. My insomnia has brought us together. Yippee! Yippee, yippee. I'm glad to see you. I'm glad to see you. Also, BRB, need a shower, stinky moose. Okay. I guess, like, after I finish reading these 10 pages, we could, like, chat a little bit. I feel bad that, like, oh, I'm gonna be cutting off the reading early. But we can chat. We can do some soft chatting for a little bit, if you would like. Okay. Okay. I really like these glasses that are on my model. It's like just pinned to my model, so it's not, it doesn't look good, but yeah. Ugh. You ready? Yeah. Okay, let's finish up the reading. Let's finish up the reading. Okay. Okay. Oh, soup. Sorry, my dog. If you heard that, my dog. I find the entrance to the women's washroom. It still says ladies in scrolly gold script. There's a corridor leading into the door, and a woman seated at the table beside it, supervising the entrances and exits. She's an older woman, wearing a purple kaftan and gold eyeshadow, but I can tell she is nevertheless an aunt. The cattle prods on the table, its thong around her wrist. No nonsense here. 15 minutes, she says to me. She gives me an oblong of purple cardboard from a stack of them on the table. It's like a fitting room in the department stores of the time before. To the woman behind me, I hear her say, "You were just here." "I need to go again," the woman says. "Rest break once an hour," says the aunt. "You know the rules." The woman begins to protest in a whining, desperate voice. I push open the door. I remember this. There's a rest area, gently lit in pinkish tones, with several easy chairs and sofa, and a lime green bamboo shoot print, with a wall clock above it in a gold filigree frame. Here they haven't removed the mirror. There's a long one opposite the sofa. You need to know, here, what you look like. Through an archway beyond, there's the row of toilet cubicles, also pink, and wash basins, and more mirrors. Several women are sitting in the chairs and on the sofa with their shoes off, smoking. They stare at me as I come in. There's perfume in the air and stale smoke, and the scent of working flesh. "You knew?" one of them says. "Yes," I say, looking around for Moira, who is nowhere in sight. The women don't smile. They return to their smoking as if it's serious business. In the room beyond, a woman in a catsuit with a tail made of orange fake fur is redoing her makeup. This is like a backstage. Grease paint, smoke, the materials of illusion. I stand hesitant, not knowing what to do. I don't want to ask her about Moira. I don't know whether it's safe. Then a toilet flushes and Moira comes out of a pink cubicle. She teeters towards me. I wait for a sign. It's all right, she says to me, and the other woman. I know her. The others smile now, and Moira hugs me. My arms go around her. The wires propping up her breasts dig into my chest. We kiss each other, on one cheek, then the other. Then we stand back. God awful, she says. She grins at me. You look like the whore of Babylon. Isn't that what I'm supposed to look like? You look like something the cat dragged in. Yes, she says, pulling up her front. Not my style, and this thing is about to fall to shreds. Hold up. What the heck? Sorry, my dog is scratching at the carpet. I think he just sat down. Okay. Not my style, and this thing is about to fall to shreds. I wish they'd dredge up someone who still knows how to make them. Then I could get something halfway decent. You picked that out? I say. I wonder if maybe she'd chosen it out of all the others because it was less garish. At least it's only black and white. Hell no, she says. Government issue. I guess they thought it was me. I still can't believe it's her. I touch her arm again. Then I began to cry. Don't do that, she says. Your eyes will run. Anyway, there isn't time. Shove over. This she says to the two women on the sofa. Her usual peremptory, rough-cut, slapdash manner. And as usual, she gets away with it. My break's up anyway, says one woman, who's wearing a Babylon baby blue laced-up Merry Widow and white stockings. She stands up, shakes my hand. Welcome, she says. The other woman obligingly moves over, and Moira and I sit down. The first thing we do is take off our shoes. What the hell are you doing here? Moira says then. Not that it isn't great to see you, but it's not so great for you. What you do wrong? Laugh at his dick? I looked up at the ceiling. Is it bugged? I say. I wipe around my eyes gingerly with my fingertips. Black comes off. Probably, says Moira. You want a cig? I'd love one, I say. Here, she says to the woman next to her. Lend me one, will you? The woman hands over ungrudgingly. Moira is still a skillful borrower. I smile at that. On the other hand, it might not be, says Moira. I can't imagine they'd care about anything we have to say. They've already heard most of it, and anyway, nobody gets out over here except in a white-black van. But you must know that, if you're here. I pull her head over so I can whisper in her ear. I'm temporary, I tell her. It's just tonight. I'm not supposed to be here at all. He smuggled me in. Who? She whispers back. That shit you're with? I've had him. He's the pits. He's my commander, I say. She nods. Some of them do that. They get a kick out of it. It's like screwing on the altar or something. Your gang are supposed to be such chaste vessels. They like to see you all painted up. Just another crummy power trip. This interpretation hasn't occurred to me. I apply it to the commander, but it seems too simple for him, too crude. Surely his motivations are more delicate than that, but it may only be vanity that prompts me to think so. We don't have that much time left, I say. Tell me everything. Moira shrugs. What's the point? She says. Plus she knows there is a point. So she does. This is what she says, whispers more or less. I can't remember exactly because I had no way of writing it down. I filled it out for her as much as I can. We didn't have much time, so she just gave me the outlines. Also, she told me this in two sessions. We managed a second break together. I've tried to make it sound as much like her as I can. It's a way of keeping her alive. Okay, and this entire part is Moira. And it's like I've been trying to do with dialogue. I've been trying to do dialogue from left to right. So this is gonna be mostly on your right ear, perhaps. Please deal with it. I left that old hag, Aunt Elizabeth, tied up like a Christmas turkey behind the furnace. I wanted to kill her. I really felt like it, but now I'm just as glad I didn't, or things would have been a lot worse for me. I couldn't believe how easy it was to get out of the center. In that brown outfit, I just walked right through. I kept on going as if I knew where I was heading, till I was out of sight. I didn't have any great plan. It wasn't an organized thing, like they thought, though. When they were trying to get it out of me, I made up a lot of stuff. You do that when they use the electrodes and the other things. You don't care what you say. I kept my shoulders back and chin up and marched along, trying to think of what to do next. When they busted the press, they'd pick up a lot of the women I knew, and I thought they'd most likely have the rest by now. I was sure they had a list. We were dumb to think we could keep it going the way they did, even underground. Even when we moved everything out of the office and into people's cellars and back rooms. So I knew better than to try any of those houses. I had some sort of an idea when I was in relation to the city, though I was walking along a street I couldn't remember having seen before. But I figured out from the sun where north was. Girl Scouts was some use after all. I thought I might as well head that way, see if I could find the yard or the square or anything around it. Then I would know for sure where I was. Also, I thought it would look better for me to be going in towards the center of things, rather than away. It would be more plausible. It would look more plausible. They'd set up more checkpoints while we were inside the center. They were all over the place. The first one scared the shit out of me. I came on it suddenly around the corner. I knew it wouldn't look right if I turned around in full view and went back, so I bluffed it through the same as I had at the gate, putting on that frown and keeping myself stiff, and pursed my lips and looked around right through them as if they were festering sores. You know the way the aunts look when they say the word man. It worked like a charm, and it did at the other checkpoints too. But the insides of my head were going around like crazy. I only had so much time before they found the old bat and sent out the alarm. Soon enough they'd be looking for me, one faint aunt on foot. I tried to think of someone. I ran over and over the people I knew. At last I tried to remember what I could about our mailing list. We destroyed it, of course, early on, or we didn't destroy it. We divided up among us, and each one of us memorized a section, and then we destroyed it. We were still using the mails then, but we didn't put our logo on the envelopes anymore. It was getting far too risky. So I tried to recall my section of the list. I won't tell you the name I chose because I don't want them to get in trouble, if they haven't already. It could be I've spilled all this stuff. It's hard to remember what you say when they're doing it. You'll say anything. I chose them because they were a married couple, and those were safer than anyone single and especially anyone gay. Also, I remember the designation beside their name. Q, it said, which meant Quaker. We had the religious denominations marked where there were any for marches. That way you could tell who might turn out to what. It was no good calling on the C's to do abortion stuff, for instance. Not that we'd done much of that lately. I remembered their address, too. We'd grill each other on those addresses. It was important to remember them exactly, zip code and all. By this time, I'd hit Mass Avenue, and I knew where I was. I knew where they were, too. Now I was worrying about something else. When these people saw an aunt coming up the walk, wouldn't they just lock the door and pretend not to be home? But I had to try it anyway. It was my only chance. I figured they weren't likely to shoot me. It was about 5 o'clock this time. I was tired of walking, especially that aunt's way like goddamn soldier, poke her up the ass, and I hadn't had anything to eat since breakfast.
What I didn't know, of course, was that in those early days, the aunts and even the center were hardly common knowledge. It was all secret at first, behind barbed wire. There might have been objections to what they were doing even then. So although people had seen the odd aunt around, they weren't really aware of what they were for. They must have thought they were some kind of army nurse. Already, they'd stopped asking questions unless they had to. So these people led me in the right way. It was the woman who came to the door. I told her I was doing a questionnaire. I did that so she wouldn't look surprised, and in case anyone was watching. But as soon as I was inside the door, I took off the headgear and told them who I was. They could have phoned the police or whatever, and I was taking a chance, but like I say, there wasn't any choice. Anyway, they didn't. They gave me some clothes, a dress of hers, and burned the aunt's outfits in the past in their furnace. They knew that had to be done right away. They didn't like having me there, that much was clear. It made them very nervous. They had 2 little kids, both under 7. I could see their point. I went to the can. What a relief that was. Bathtub full of plastic fish and so on. Then I sat upstairs in the kids' room and played with them and their plastic blocks while their parents stayed downstairs and decided what to do about me. I didn't feel scared by then. In fact, I felt pretty good. Fatalistic, you could say. Then the woman made me a sandwich and a cup of coffee, and the man said he'd take me to another house that they hadn't risked phoning. The other house was Quakers too, and they were pay dirt because they were a station in the underground Femo Road. After I won't tell you how, after the first man left, they said they'd try to get me out of the country. I won't tell you how, because some of the stations may still be operating. Each one of them was in contact with only one other one, always the next one along. There were advantages to that. It was better if you were caught, but disadvantages too, because if one station got busted, the entire chain backed up until they could make contact with one of the other couriers, who could set up an alternate route. They were better organized than you think, though they were better organized than you'd think, though. They'd infiltrated a couple of useful places. One of them was the post office. They had a driver there with one of those handy little trucks. I made it over the bridge and into the city proper in a mail sack. I can tell you that now because they got him. Soon after that, he ended up on the wall. You hear about those things. You hear a lot in here. You'd be surprised. The commanders tell us themselves. I guess they figure why not? There's no one we can pass it on to except each other, and that doesn't count. I'm making this sound easy, but it wasn't. I nearly shat bricks the entire time. One of the hardest things was knowing that these other people were risking their lives for you when they didn't have to, but they said they were doing it for religious reasons, and I shouldn't take it personally. That helped some. They had silent prayers every evening. I found that hard to get used to at first because it reminded me too much of the shit at the center. It made me feel sick to my stomach, to tell you the truth. I had to make an effort, tell myself this was a whole other thing. I hated it at first, but I figured it was what kept them going. They knew more or less what would happen to them if they got caught. Not in detail, but they knew. By that time, they'd started putting some of it on the TV, the trials and so forth. It was before the sectarian roundups began in earnest. As long as you said you were in some sort of Christian, you were married for the first time, that is, they were still leaving you pretty much alone. They were concentrating first on the others. They got them more or less under control before they started on everybody else. I was underground. It must have been 8 or 9 months. I was taken from one safe house to another. There were more of those then. They weren't all Quakers. Some of them weren't even religious. They were just people who didn't like the way things were going. I almost made it out. They got me as far as Salem, then in a truck full of chickens to Maine. I almost puked from the smell. You ever thought what it would be like to be shot on by a truckload of chickens, all of them car sick? They were planning to get me across the border there, not by car or truck. That was already too difficult, but by boat, up the coast. I didn't know that until the actual night. They never told you the next step until right before it was happening. They were careful that way. So I don't know what happened. Maybe somebody got cold feet about it, or somebody outside got suspicious. Or maybe it was the boat. Maybe they thought the guy was out in his boat at night too much. By that time, he must have been crawling with eyes up there, and everywhere else close to the border. Whatever it was, they picked us up just as we were coming out the back door to go down to the deck. Me and the guy, and his wife too. They were an older couple in their 50s. He'd been in the lobster business back before all that happened, to the shore fishing there. I don't know what became of them after that, because they took me in a separate van. I thought it might be the end, for me. Or back to the center and the attentions of Aunt Lydia and her steel cable. She enjoyed that, you know. She pretended to do all that love the sinner, hate the sin stuff, but she enjoyed it. I didn't consider offing myself, and maybe I would have if there had been any way. But they had two of them in the back of the van with me, watching me like a hawk. Didn't say a whole hell of a lot, just sat and watched me in that wall-eyed way they have, so it was no-go. We didn't end up at the center though. We went somewhere else. I won't go into what happened after that. I'd rather not talk about it. All I can say is that they didn't leave any marks. When that was over, they showed me a movie. Know what it was about? It was about life in the colonies. In the colonies, they spend their time cleaning up. They're very clean-minded these days. Sometimes it's just bodies after a battle. The ones in city ghettos are the worst. They're left around longer. They got rottener. This bunch doesn't like dead bodies lying around. They're afraid of a plague or something. So the women in the colonies there do the burning. The other colonies are worse, though. The toxic dumps and the radiation spills. They figure you've got 3 years maximum at those before your nose falls off and your skin pulls away like rubber gloves. They don't bother to feed you much or give you protective clothing or anything. It's cheaper not to. Anyway, they're mostly people they want to get rid of. They say there's other colonies, not so bad, where they do agriculture, cotton and tomatoes and all that. But those weren't the ones they showed me in the movie about. It's old women. I bet you've been wondering why you haven't seen too many of those around anymore. And handmaids who've screwed up their 3 chances, and incorrigibles like me. Discards, all of us. They're sterile, of course. If they aren't that way to begin with, they are after they've been there for a while. When they're unsure, they do a little operation on you, so there won't be any mistakes. I'd say it's about a quarter men in the colonies, too. Not all of those gender traitors that end up on the wall. Hi, Brown. Hi, Carefree. Hi, Corin. All of them wear long dresses like the ones at the center. Only gray. Women and the men, too, judging from the group shots. I guess it's supposed to demoralize the men having to wear a dress. Shit. It would demoralize me enough. How do you stand it? Everything considered, I like this outfit better. So after that, they said I was too dangerous to be allowed the privilege of returning to the Red Center. They said I would be a corrupting influence. I had my choice, they said. This or the colonies. Well, shit. Nobody but a nun would pick the colonies. I mean, I'm not a martyr. If I'd had my tubes tied years ago, I wouldn't even have needed the operation. Nobody here with viable ovaries either. I can see what kind of problems it would cause. So here I am. They even give you face cream. You should figure out some way of getting in here. You'd have 3 or 4 good years before your snatch wears out and they send you to the boneyard. The food's not bad, and there's drink and drugs, and if you want it, we only work nights. Moira, I say. You don't mean that. She is frightening me now, because what I hear in her voice is indifference, a lack of volition. Have they really done it to her then? Taken away something, what, that used to be so central to her? But how can I expect her to go on with my idea of her courage, live it through, act it out, when I myself do not? I don't want her to be like me, give in, go along, save her skin. That is what it comes down to. I want gallantry from her, swashbuckling heroism, single-handed combat, something I lack. Don't worry about me, she says. She must know some of what I'm thinking. I'm still here. You can see it's me. Anyway, look at it this way. It's not so bad. There's lots of women around. Butch paradise, you might call it. Now she's teasing, showing some energy, and I feel better. Do they let you? Let hell, they encourage it. Know what they call this place among themselves? Jezebels. The aunts figure we're all damned anyway. They've given up on us. So it doesn't matter what sort of vice we get up to. And the commanders don't give a piss what we do in our off time. Anyway, women on women sort of turns them on. What about others, I say? Put it this way, she says. They're not too fond of them. They're not too fond of men. She shrugs again. It might be resignation. Here's what I'd like to tell. I like to tell a story about how Moira escaped for good this time. Or if I couldn't tell that, I like to say she blew up Jezebel's with 50 commanders inside it. I like her to end up with something daring and spectacular. Some courage, something that would befit her. But as far as I know, that didn't happen. I don't know how she ended, or even if she did, because I never saw her again. Okay. That was chapter 38. And that's all we're reading today. That's all we're reading today. Because we're saving the last pages for next time. Yay! That's the end of the reading for tonight. It's much shorter tonight than the other nights. I'm very sorry. Yeah. I hope everyone has had a cozy time listening though. I will be rating out, perhaps. I don't know who to rate out to though. Let's look. Oh god, ew. Sorry, I just looked at my other tab. I just remembered what I had on here. Oh my god, so many people streaming. No one. Oh my god, so many people doing art. So many people doing art. Okay, I don't know if you heard that. My bad. I have my things so loud. Oh, this is cute. I don't know what to raid though. Do you guys have anyone you guys want to raid? Very nice, yeah. I'm shy when it comes to rating other people who do ASMR. Let me see who's on ASMR right now. I'm very shy. I'm just a baby. I'm just a baby. And it feels weird if I were to raid someone who's like they have like different vibes than me. Like I have nothing against people who do ASMR and are more like sensual about it, but it's just like it's not my vibe, you know? It's not my vibe. So I don't know. Maybe I can raid you guys out to someone else who's doing something cozy, but not necessarily like ASMR, you know? Hi, Brown. I'm glad you managed to cat this one. This time, though, I will stream on Tuesday.
I will stream on Tuesday, I promise. I'm gonna have to figure out what I want to stream though. I don't know how to rate you guys out to. Let's rate Kumutsune actually. He's doing Pal World. We got time to think about it, right? Oh well, I just picked someone. I just picked someone already. But I mean, we don't have to read out though. Not right now. We can chat a little bit before I have to go. The only reason I stopped reading is because I want to like cut it off so I can read the last part in the next stream. So I wouldn't have to risk like burning out before we get to the end and then like having a half-assed kind of performance for the rest of the reading. You know? But I hope you guys are having a nice time. Just a little bit of talking. Not for too long. I do want to like wind down by myself. But yeah. Hope you guys have were having fun time listening to me read. Ugh. What other books do I have? I have like 3 other books with me over here. Or no, 4 actually. These are like books that I should have read a long time ago. I think I read this one that I have just picked up. Snow Falling on Setters. But I don't remember anything what this is about. No, actually these are all books I didn't read. Because I have these books because I was supposed to read these for high school summer reading, but I never read them. I don't even know how I passed the class because I think there was like a good chunk of our grade that dealt with having to read them, and we had to like write essays and do like whole assignments about them, but I just never did it. I just half-assed it because I never actually read them. Somehow I passed though. But yeah, I'm actually glad that I get to read these now though. I do like reading these out to you. I think it's nice. Maybe that's just my shtick, you know? When it comes to ASMR or soft talking, I could just do reading ASMR. But then occasionally I could just do the trigger ASMR too. The trigger ASMR is nice. I just need to figure out what kind of items I can use for trigger ASMR. And I need to get over my shame so I could try out roleplay ASMR as well. Oh, wait. I like listening. Yay! Also, I guess I should talk about it. I'll talk more about it on Tuesday, but guys, wait, I need to get the image. I need to get the image. Where is it? Where is it? Did I save it? I don't think I saved it. No, I didn't save it. Okay, wait. Give me a second. I'm gonna go on my own Twitter for this. Okay. Okay, guys. Oh. Guys, if you are not aware, oh, maybe I should move aside a bit. Guys, if you guys are going to Offkai, if anyone is going to Offkai, I am gonna be there. Not in person. No, I'm not gonna be there in person. Sorry everyone, I'm not gonna be there in person, but I will be on a robot for a good 20 minutes. I'm in the works of asking some people if they were willing to have me on their phone when they walk around, though. So we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I'll be on the robot. I'm actually literally the first one on the robot on the first day. I'll be on the robot on the first day. And yeah, if you guys are going to Offkai on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, well, mostly Friday because that's when I will be there. But if you guys are going to Offkai, if you guys are going to be there on Friday, as early as 1 p.m. PST, I will be on the robot. I will be on a robot in the exhibitors hall. Yes, yes. Are we winning? We are winning. I just finished reading Shirsi. I stopped reading early on for tonight so I can finish up reading The Handmaid's Tale the next stream. No, yeah, I'm sorry. Today's stream is a bit shorter. Tonight's stream is a bit shorter. I'm sorry. But peep my exciting news. Peep my exciting news. I am going to be on a robot for Offkai. If you are going on Offkai, I'll be there Friday, 1 p.m. PST, or PDT rather. I will be there for 20 minutes. 20 minutes. Yes. I'll be around to say hi. To be honest, I'm supposed to be there to represent Irium, so you're gonna have to hear me be a little bit professional. Because, you know, I'm there for a purpose. I'm there for the purpose of promoting Irium and showing you guys to go to Irium booth, but you know, they can't enforce that. They can't enforce that from me, you know. I'll do it. I'll do it a little bit. I'll be like, yeah, you should check out the booth. But then I'm gonna be like, okay, but show me your merch, guys. Like, you went to Artist Alley, didn't you? You need to show me your merch. I don't know. And then afterwards, I'll probably ask someone if they're willing to put me on their phone and walk me around and show me, like, you know. I'm talking with maybe Ghoulbreath or my friends Ghoulbreath or Cyanea about potentially walking me around with their phone. But I don't know. I don't want to like inconvenience any of my friends by doing that, because I know that, you know, I don't know how good the Wi-Fi there will be. I'm not going to be there. Got my first day of work. Sorry, maybe next time. It's okay, Josiah. No worries. No worries. I need a gacha pin more than 3 times in 3 days. I'm so scared. I'm so scared because what if who's gonna get my pin? I'm really scared of who's gonna get my pin. I really feel like, cause okay, so for context, for people who are not aware, Irium is doing a gacha pin wheel thing at Offkai, and so you have 1 free spin a day to spin on the gacha, and you will win a random person on the gacha spin. But mind you, there is 50 people in that gacha spin. There is 50 people, me included. I am actually in that gacha as well. I drew my own art for that pin. I can actually upload what it looks like right now. I will buy all the merch. Oh. This is what this is what the gacha pin looks like. This is what's on the gacha pin. Admittedly, I don't like it that much anymore. I don't like it, but it's a little cute. It's a little cute. But this is what I submitted for the gacha pin. I did have to rush it. I did rush it drawing this because I think I submitted it like right before the deadline of the artworks. I'll buy all the merch at Offkai. Yeah, I feel like they really should just like give you a guaranteed badge if you're willing to pay money. I don't know, because I don't want someone random to get my pin. I want my pin to go out to someone who actually likes me, you know? I wanted to go to someone who likes me. Man. But yeah, as I said, I'll be there for 20 minutes. 20 minutes at Offkai. So if you are going to Offkai and you're able to make it, please say hi to me. Go to the exhibitors hall and say hi to me, please. I would like it if you did. Man. I'll do it. I'll talk about this again. I'll talk about it again on Tuesday when I stream again. But yeah. Hope you guys can go. Hope you guys can go see me if you're going. I keep burping. Why is there so much air in my lungs? I'm sorry if you hear that every so often in my ASMRs, because the mic is more sensitive, so you can probably hear it, like the air being expelled from my throat. I'm so sorry. I'm so disgusting. I'm so tired. I'm actually kind of tired, guys. Oh, I'm so close to 1,400. Yippee yippee. I'm at 1,396. Can we get 4 more? Nah, man. Dang. What games can I play for next time? Like I said, I want to play Muse Dash on Tuesday, kind of. But then I wouldn't be able, I don't think I would be able to upload the VOD. No, there is a streaming mode. There is a streaming mode, I think. It's not even monetized, so I don't know why I'm worried. But I don't know, they could still copyright strike me, I think. I'm talking about the air, by the way. Let me look at my Steam. Oh, I've been wanting to play The Walking Dead, actually. The Walking Dead, it's very big though, so I'm gonna have to delete games off my computer if I want to play it. But I have the Walking Dead Definitive Tales series, and it's, for people who are unfamiliar, it was a really popular game back then in like the 2010s. Basically, it's like the Walking Dead series, but it's like in a your choice matters kind of thing, like the butterfly effect and whatnot. And it was really popular back then. I think a lot of people were playing it recently, but I really want to play it because I've only watched people play it back then, and you know, I really want to go down memory road with like playing it myself. Yeah, I heard about it. Yeah, it's very good. The Telltale games are very good. They also have the Wolf Among Us. I think there's other ones. Oh yeah, I also have Batman, I think. The Batman series. They're really good. Really good. So I one day I want to play that too. What else? Oh, I really wanted to play South Park: The Stick of Truth one day, but then I was like debating of whether like, oh, is this game safe to play on Twitch? And then I tweeted, I was like, hey guys, how acceptable is it to play South Park: The Stick of Truth and Fractured Butthole? And then plenty of people were like, oh yeah, that's fine. Just, you know, make sure you cover up the explicit scenes. If you are not aware, I'm gonna spoil it right now, just for people who are not aware. In South Park, The Stick of Truth, there is a scene where you become a gnome-sized. You become gnome-sized, pretty much. You are like a little ant, and you are trying to get back your underpants or whatever from the gnomes, who the underwear thieving gnomes, and you try to chase them down. No, wait. You wake up in the middle of the night because you hear the underwear thieving gnomes stealing your underwear. And they are like, "Oh fuck. We just got found out. Turn that kid small." And then they turn you small, and then you have to go back and fight them to make them turn you back and whatnot. And as this is going on, your parents start fucking in the other room, and you have to go in there to fight the shaman gnome. You have to fight the shaman gnome underneath your fucking parents, and I mean that quite literally. You have to go in there and fight them while your parents are fucking right above you. And there were scenes where you have to dodge your parents' like genitals in the fight. You have to dodge like your dad's ballsack, and then you have to dodge your mom's like boobs. Like, oh my god, bro. And then like when people said that, I was like, oh wait, you're right. You're right, I do have to censor that. But can you that's literally a whole boss fight though. Can you imagine me, like, I streamed that, and like 90% of the stream is covered because you can't see it. I mean, I want to play more than, there's more than that, but oh, Hathaway, welcome. Thank you for the follow. Thank you. Mwah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the follow. Three more until 400. Yeah. So maybe one day I'll do the Stick of Truth. Fractured Butthole is like its own can of worms. There's a whole other thing with Fractured Butthole. Nice, Story. Story, are you doing your endurance right now? Are you doing it soon? I don't think I saw you online earlier when I was looking through my followers. It'd be a little funny though. It would be. It'd just be funny, like, I have it censored, and then you just see me, you can't see what's going on, but then you, like, you hear me, like, reacting is the only thing that's funny. I'm not streaming, but maybe soon. I was live on Irium, but maybe I'll do a Twitch later. I just remembered that you said you have, like, an appointment tomorrow, so you have to stay up. Or something. I do. I mean, if you want to continue schedule 1, stairs with my big eyes. I mean, if you want. I mean, if you have other plans. Stairs with my fat eyes. Yeah, no one's. I blink too rapidly for my thing to compute. Big fat wet eyes with. Yeah, I'm gonna end soon. Probably in like maybe in a bit. Yeah, we finished off reading for tonight. So I'm down as long as you are. It's up to you. Let me look at more of my games to see what we can do. Oh, I need to play Resident Evil. I gotta play Resident Evil. Because I got Resident Evil from my friend, and I have to play it. But I'm thinking I might just play that in my server. Oh, and then I have to play the Persona games. I'm gonna replay the Persona games. Oh, ads. Oh. We'll wait until people get back from ads, and then I'll probably raid out. I was actually thinking of doing a Persona marathon with like reload. I need to buy reload actually. I was thinking of doing of Persona 3 portable, Persona 4 golden, and then Persona 5 royal. And then my friend helped me find a way to emulate Persona 1 and 2. I'm gonna have to figure out how to. I need to do that first. But I was hoping to do like a Persona marathon one of these days. By the way, I haven't seen an ad yet. It's just been you. Dude, ads are so weird. They will like not work for some people, but then they will work for others. Regardless, I should wait until like in case like anyone is caught in ads. It doesn't seem to catch everyone. Though I've been seeing that like whenever I go to other people's streams, I will see like the ad on the side of the screen, then it actually taking up the stream, you know? Like it's like a side ad, but not like the full thing. What else? I have so many games I could play. I want to do Cult of the Lamb one day. Crazy me, lucky, yeah. I want to play Cult of the Lamb one day, and we can have that like Twitch integration feature where people can like gacha to be in the cult, and then I take care of you. And then I fight for our cult. I never get too far into it because I'm kind of bad at the game. I'm bad at roguelikes. But I would love to play Cult of the Lamb. That'd be a nice thing to draw myself in. But I feel a little tentative. Like, what if no one comes? What if no one comes and we can't do a Twitch integration? Oh yeah, also in the Twitch integration you can also like vote on things that happen in the game too. That's cool, no? That is new, right? The Twitch integration for Cult of the Lamb? No, I think it's been around for since the game was out. Though there is a new update that I haven't downloaded. It's not new, but I haven't downloaded yet. Ad break is ending. Welcome back, everyone. Whoever got caught up in the ads. Now that you're back, we are going. We are gonna leave. We are gonna leave. And I am gonna raid. No early. We're gonna raid Kumutsune. Yes, Kumutsune SV. Cozy streamer. He's raided us a few times. He's very cozy with his streams. He's currently playing Power World, but he has a very, very cozy setup going on. Power World is also another game I've been wanting to play. I'm trying to see if I can get some people to play with me. Down the line. But yes, I'll be ending it off here. Thank you guys for listening to me read. Please be nice to Kumutsune. And I will see you guys Tuesday. Thank you. Have a good rest of your night, everyone. Thank you. Bye bye. Good night.